We're Gavin and Emily.
And we bought a school bus to convert into our own tiny home on wheels.
These are our adventures.
All right, good morning everybody. Pretty excited for this weekend. Should be pretty simple. We're just prepping all of this to get spray foamed. So we'll be dropping off the bus this Sunday and we'll be able to pick it up next week looking quite nice, we're hoping. So we gotta really make sure we got all of our wires taped up where they need to be. We have plastic sheeting to cover our floor and windows and everything we don't want spray foam to get onto. 1 or 2 wires left to run for our oven and an LED strip, just some miscellaneous stuff. So hopefully it's an easy weekend. Emily's feeling a little bit under the weather, but
I'm sick. But I'm very excited to have spray foam in the bus. It's gonna look like a real house. And then we can put up walls and ceiling and paint.
Good job.
And decorations.
All right.
Today's the first real cold day working on the bus since last winter. There was frost on the bus this morning when we woke up. So we are very excited to have an insulated bus next week to be able to work in since it's starting to get cold, because it was not fun working in this bus last winter with no heat. So it still looks pretty messy, but the cables or the wires are now zip tied to our ceiling. So the spray foam will just completely expand around them and they will be hidden in our spray foam. For anything that is hanging down, all these wires that we're going to connect our 12-volt lights to, we are going to bag around them, put a zip tie at the top so that no spray foam gets onto these wires. So all the wires that are hanging down are ones that we're going to bag. Everything else will be in the spray foam. Okay, so all the hanging wires have been bagged. We just used extra grocery bags or whatever we had lying around. Next, I'm going to use this plastic sheeting. It's just a roll that you would use for like paint protection or something, and I'm going to cover all of our windows.
Caught behind Venetian blinds, out of reach for the city lights. This ain't where I belong. Hey, look at me, man, what I've become. I've been running.
Alright, I'm just taking the sheet I cut and stapling it right to our wood frame, and then we'll just remove the staples later once we're done insulating.
What I thought was gone was sitting in my pocket in plain sight all along. It's time for me to go, burn all bridges. All I know, I got lost along the way, fell between the foam, pulling stitches. Time to let go, so come what may.
All right, so I just cut some plywood into strips and used those strips to make a lot of little pieces. Those little pieces are what we are using in here to build a little bit of structure around these latches. So we're just making enough so that the latch will clear them when we turn them, and that'll give something to insulate against all around it. We are working under the lights here.
Is it too dark?
Emily's just gluing together our little arches. So they don't need to be super sturdy. We just want them to hold when the insulation's put against them. And I'm bagging up some of our last bundles of wires.
So in running all of our wiring, we kind of finalized the layout of where everything is gonna go, which means that we've decided that this block here where this window is going to be a closet. So we no longer need this window. It's going to be in a closet. It doesn't need to function as a window anymore. So what we're going to do is seal the window itself shut, black it out, and then leave it exposed like this, not covered with plastic sheeting, so that when the spray foam guys come, they can just insulate right over the window and then we'll cover it with a wall and it will be like it was never there. A lot of people do window deletes where you actually take out the window and put a piece of sheet metal instead. We didn't have our layout finalized to kind of be able to decide to do that early enough in the build. And also we wanted our bus to still look like a school bus from the outside. So just spraying and insulating over the windows is gonna fix that for us. So like I said, we're gonna seal this window where our closet's gonna be, and then right across from it, we're gonna seal the other window as well, because that's where our wood stove is going to be, and we're gonna have to have some sort of heat shield situation there anyways. So we're just deleting 2 of our windows. The rest of the windows will remain covered with plastic for the spray foam guy. So he's leaving, he's leaving. Okay, this is the sealant I'm using to seal our windows shut. I'm just gonna put it around the edges and then along the top. So it just, once we close it, it is closed forever.
Look before you leave. What you give, you get to keep. So long, farewell, bye-bye. Let's have a toast for those lost old lives.
I'm just going to fog on a light layer first. That just helps the paint have something to grip to since the glass is pretty smooth. All right, so here are 2 windows all blacked out on the inside. Again, they'll be covered with insulation and stuff, so you'll never see this side of them, but I'll show you what they look on the outside. So this is the blacked out window on the outside. You can tell it doesn't really look any different from the other windows, which is exactly what we wanted. So something we found in our schoolie spray foam research is that people recommend using packing tape to cover any of like the framing boards that you don't want totally covered with spray foam. The spray foam doesn't stick to the packing tape, so then once the spray foam is complete, you can easily just pull off the tape and it leaves you with your nice clean framing boards so you can see where everything is and it's not all covered in foam. So why spray foam? There are a couple reasons we are choosing to do spray foam insulation in our bus. The first reason is that it is just the most efficient. You get the highest R value per inch of spray foam compared to any other insulation. The rigid foam board, sheep's wool is a common one that people use, are all less efficient than the closed cell spray foam. So that's the #1 reason. We are definitely going to travel in all climates. We love winter, we love summer. We know we're gonna be in cold places and we want our bus to be the most efficient as possible and not have to waste a ton of energy heating and cooling our bus. Another reason we went with spray foam is because it is a sound deadener. We're not doing any other sort of sound dampening in our bus. The spray foam will take care of that. It is also a vapor barrier. So with other insulations, you have to worry about moisture getting in. Spray foam, not so much. It will totally take care of any condensation that will be coming through our roof or the sheet metal from outside on those cold days. So vapor barrier, sound deadener, most efficient, our value for the space that it takes up. It was kind of a no-brainer for us to go with spray foam. The reason that we're not doing the spray foam ourselves is it costs the same to have someone else do it, basically. So we would have loved to do the spray foam ourselves. This whole bus building project is about learning how to do these projects by ourselves, but when we looked into it, it costs the same to rent that equipment, rent all the protective gear and stuff, and do it yourself that it does to have someone just do it for you. And we know that a professional is going to do a way better job than we are going to do. And like I said earlier, we want our insulation to work the best it can. All right, we are pretty much spray foam ready. We are gonna take her to the spray foam place, tape off the remaining, cab area, and then leave her for the week and pick her up Friday, and hopefully she's nice and insulated.
We're here at Amerifoam Spray Foam Insulation, dropping off our bus and kind of helicopter parenting as we make sure everything's perfectly right before we leave our baby here.
I don't want them to get spray foam on my pretty floor.
Getting everything covered in plastic. We have a little fort so they can still come inside and move the bus if they need to. And hopefully next time we see it, it'll be quite the transformation.
See you in a week, bus.
Sorry it's dark, but we are sitting waiting to pick up the bus from the spray foam. They're finishing just cleaning up all the extra foam, and we're sitting and watching. So we've got a little sneak peek of what the bus looks like.
Ooh, it's spray foamed. I'm so excited to go inside.
All right, we got the bus back. It's all insulated and looking good.
Welcome to our house.